Thank you all of you for coming tonight. Who's coming for the first time here? One lady over there. It's very nice. Where have you come from? Just local? That's very nice. Everyone else has been here before? Well, today is a very, very special day. It is the Disappearance Day. In our tradition, we celebrate the appearance and the disappearance day because both of them are glorious. Glorious when they've appeared and glorious when they've disappeared because they've had a wonderful life and they've taught and looked after all of us wonderful devotees. Okay? Thank you very much. Could you hear a little bit? Yeah, so it's back to Vinod Thakur's Disappearance Day. He is the father of our Srila Prabhupada over here. He's our founder Acharya of the Hare Krishna movement in the West and also in India, because after the West, the Hare Krishna movement went back to India and encouraged all of the Indian people to see how much the Western people were embracing this wonderful tradition. And Prabhupada used to call us his dancing white elephants because the people were totally enthralled by seeing all these white people coming from other countries and taking up their tradition that they had forgotten all about. So isn't that wonderful? And because of all those wonderful devotees who followed on Prabhupada's mission in the West, then all you lovely Indian descendants have been able to come here and practice your tradition again. Sometimes some of you might have come here and have forgotten all about it, but the Western world isn't easy. And so with the hard struggles, you began to think right back to your roots, which was your knowledge of Krishna. And because all these wonderful temples and centers were here, you could come and visit them and rekindle your love for Krishna. So this was a wonderful thing. So Srila Prabhupada, he came on behalf of his spiritual master Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Guru Maharaj, who's my grandfather, and he encouraged him, I want you to go to the West and preach this Hare Krishna's teachings all over the world because you speak so nice English. It took him till he was 65 years old. He told him when he was a young man with a family, when he was only in his late 20s. And Prabhupada never forgot that mission. And he had a difficult time in household life because his wife wasn't very interested in the teachings of Krishna. And so Prabhupada struggled really for 30 years trying to give Krishna consciousness to people in India. And they used to say to him when he said, would you like to take a magazine? They're free. They said, go away, we're not interested, we're not interested. So Prabhupada realized that there wasn't an interest in India at that time. So he came to the West. And at that time, there was a real interest because at that time it was the middle of the Vietnam War. And all the young people, they were so upset that they had to go to this war that they actually had nothing to do with. Just America decided they would help in the Vietnam War. And all these young people were going there and getting killed. And so they did a complete turnaround and said, we do not want this war. There must be something better than this. And then that led them to this Hare Krishna movement. Srila Prabhupada went there all alone on the instruction of his spiritual master. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is the father of his spiritual master. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, oh, the day will come when in Mayapur, in West Bengal, I don't know if all you Indian descents know of Mayapur in West Bengal. Do you know? Do you know? Have you ever been there? That's where our wonderful world headquarters is. And he said he was looking across the Jalangi River to the place where we have our center now, and he could see people dancing, young and old, from all different countries all over the world. And this was like years and years and years before it ever happened. So this is our Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he desired that, and it actually happened. Now you go to Mayapur, and there's devotees coming there to live, coming there to visit from every country of the world. Every country practically of the world. No? I think even there's some people, friends of Krishna in Iceland. Maybe even in the Antarctica. And the Russia's just like Siberia. Do you know there's devotees in Siberia? Hare Krishna's devotees in Siberia who are chanting Hare Krishna, going out in the snow and singing the Hare Krishna mantra all over the world. Would you have ever thought that when you left India? That such a thing would happen? Did you ever think like that? But aren't you so happy now that you have a very nice place to come? I would like to see that we would have a temple in the north of Brisbane, in the south of Brisbane, in the east of Brisbane, and the west of Brisbane. Not just one small centre. And restaurants on every corner. Wouldn't that be wonderful? That you never had to go out for the day and think, oh my God, I'm so hungry, where am I going to eat? There's nothing vegetarian here. Huh? Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could have a Hare Krishna cafe on every street corner, just like those 7-Elevens and those other cafes that they have. And some of them are very expert. They have menus down pat, and they have stainless steel kitchens. They put such to shame. We are such a big movement. We should have a Hare Krishna restaurant in every town, And we should never have to think, where am I going to eat? And we have to go hungry until we go home. And sometimes we don't get home until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And sometimes you go out with all intentions of being home for lunch. And something happens that you don't get home for lunch. But I'd rather starve than go into a restaurant that serves meat, even if they have vegetarian on the menu, right? Who would like to help me do that? How many of you would like to help me? I've been a cook for 45 years, and I would like to see a Hare Krishna cafe in every suburb of Brisbane, if not every suburb of Australia. Would you, any of you like to help me do that? I have the idea, but I do not have the finances. How many of you had the finances to help me to put a cafe on every corner? And you know what? This would be a brilliant thing. Isn't she wonderful? This would be a brilliant thing. Because it would not only help your tummy, it would help you to get a job. It would help your children to get a job. It would help us all to become much happier. Because instead of working in all different places, sometimes devotees even go to work in places where they sell cigarettes. And they go to work in places that they sell petrol and they sell, non-vegetarian foods, and they're serving. But a devotee should never do that. Better to go and work in Kmart, where they don't have any non-vegetarian foods they're selling. But so wonderful of an idea, wouldn't this be? That on every corner, like that big M, right? We would have a Hare Krishna cafe. Wouldn't it be wonderful? And then you could all come there and meet all your friends who are like-minded, and lots of them would be devotees, right? We could encourage our young generation, which is a very, very important thing. You would like your children to grow up and have a nice job in a place where they don't have to go and work in a non-vegetarian place, in a place where they smoke, a place where they drink, a place where they dance, all kinds of dances, sometimes even naked. So we have to do these things for our protection. And that was our wonderful Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He wanted these things to happen. And due to his desire, that strong desire of wanting that people from all over the world could come to Mayapur and be seen chanting Hare Krishna in all the streets. And Lord Chaitanya, he wanted the Hare Krishna mantra to be heard in every town and village. You see? And the Hare Krishna restaurants is a good way of hearing the Hare Krishna mantra, because we often play the Hare Krishna songs in our restaurants. Have you been there? Have you been to Govinda's in town? Good food. Even now, very good. Better than before, isn't it? You see? So I would really like to see that. So anyone who likes to help spread the Hare Krishna movement, my drum, and encourage people to be vegetarian. You know? Sometimes I'm on the street and I'm giving books out, and I say, "Oh, you're a vegetarian, just come with me." I'll take them a few doors down, walk them into Govinda's, tell them about our very good menu now, better than before. And I said, "It's very delicious, come on, come and have some." And they get encouraged. "Oh, look at this, it's so wonderful. It's so healthy looking. Huh? It's so healthy looking food." Right? Isn't it? Any food that it hasn't taken a life, it hasn't taken a life to be prepared, that's the most wonderful food. And even better than that food is food that's prepared with love and devotion to Krishna, with the consciousness that I am making this for Krishna. I am making this for Krishna's pure devotee, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Today we made beautiful feast for Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We didn't only make one. We made 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 feasts in one day. That's pretty special, isn't it? So that's what we've done today, because we all knew you were coming. Tell me, how many of you are good at dancing? Come on, hands up. How many are good at dancing? None of you are good at dancing. Well, I'm going to teach you tonight. Because if you don't dance, you don't get fed. So are you going to dance and sing? Put your hands up. Who's going to dance and sing? Mataji over there, look at her. She's in a wheelchair. She couldn't dance as good as you guys, so you have to dance very, very good. So after we have this nice talk, we're going to get you all up singing and dancing. And then after that, if you dance really well, we're going to let you have some of our nice feast. So you reckon singing and dancing is worth that nice feast? Can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay, let's let it happen. So I can read you a little bit nice things about Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was such a wonderful devotee. He was actually a very, very talented man. He was worked in the highest government departments in Puri, and he had so many children. He had a big, big family. How many children have you got? 2, and you? 2, and you? 2, Mataji? 2. 2. Wow! Guess how many Bhaktivinoda Thakur had? He had more than 10. 5. Same here. 5. How many grandchildren? How many grandchildren have you got? 1. I got 5, and I got 1 more coming. Maybe today. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had so many children. But he was a high court judge. And still he had so many children. And he worked very hard. And after he stopped doing that work, he became a preacher. And he was a preacher before, but he gave his life to Krishna. Right up to the end of his life, he gave his life to Krishna. Could you imagine doing that? Not just 2 children, more than 10 he had. More than 10, no. I thought 5 was a handful. But he was an amazing fellow, and he really, really desired for this Hare Krishna movement to come to the Western world. And so he prayed to Krishna, please send me a son that will help me to spread this Hare Krishna movement. And his son was born, and that was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. His son was the spiritual master of our Srila Prabhupada that brought the Hare Krishna movement to the West. And immediately, from a young age actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's son, Bimala Prasad his name was, until he got initiated, and then he became Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And he helped Bhaktivinoda Thakur to spread this Hare Krishna movement all over India. Even he was able to do it more than what Bhaktivinoda Thakur did. And that just shows you, you know when someone's great, when the person who comes after him is greater. And so Prabhupada was told by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati that I want you to go to the West and spread this Hare Krishna movement. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati desired that he could only stay in India. He was very strict. He remained a brahmachari his whole life. And he also was very strict about the preaching. He didn't let anyone get away with it. I'm a brahmana. He said, okay, you're a brahmana, show me your credentials. I'm a high court judge. I'm a lawyer. I'm a physician. Okay, show me your credentials. Wouldn't you say that? You wouldn't just go to Joe Blow down the road and just let him operate on you, would you? You'd be saying, okay, sir, you want to operate on me? Show me your credentials. So that's what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was like. You want to preach Krishna consciousness and you want to say that you're a Brahmin? Then show me your credentials. But they couldn't show him their credentials because they only wanted to be Brahmins by name, not by quality. And so his father taught him, you want to be a Brahmin, you have to be a Brahmin by quality. So if you want to be a doctor, you have to be a doctor by quality. You have to be a lawyer by quality, right? You want to be a good devotee by quality. And so they didn't like him. Even they tried to kill him one time, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. But then he met Srila Prabhupada, and he said to Srila Prabhupada, immediately Prabhupada was attracted to him because his friend took him. And he said, I want you to meet a great man. He said, I'm not going to go. My father brings home those sadhus all the time. And they are not genuine. And he said, but this one is. I want you to come and meet him. And so, okay, Abhay said, okay, I will go. From the first moment he heard him talk, he knew. He took him into his heart, and he knew that he was going to be his spiritual master. And immediately he said to him, you can speak such good English, you should go to the West and preach this Hare Krishna movement all over the world. And Prabhupada took it very seriously. So you see this disciplic succession. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gopkishore Das Babaji, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and Srila Prabhupada. So aren't we fortunate? We are the most fortunate because we had the opportunity to come in contact with this movement. And therefore, we are able to improve our lives, become much happier people, to know the goal of life, to remember what we've forgotten. Prabhupada said that, I have come here to remind you of what you've forgotten. And what did we forget? What did we forget?
Our relationship with Krishna.
Our relationship with Krishna. Our relationship with God. Of course, that's what we forgot. So somehow or other, by chance, you have come here to this temple. Not by chance, actually. Not by chance. Due to the desire in one's heart. No one is able to do something and come somewhere by chance. It's all ordained. And so not by chance that you actually have come to this little small temple up here on the hill in Brisbane. Because somehow or other, due to your desire in your heart, Krishna has sent you here. And to come here on such an auspicious day, you are all going to make lots and lots of advancement. And especially when you chant Hare Krishna and sing and dance and eat this wonderful Krishna prasadam. Now I'm not going to say anything more, but I would like you to ask any questions. Have you got any questions, or all of you understood everything I've taught you today? Anyone has any questions? So you've all understood. So you're going to take up this practice of the Hare Krishna movement. Is that true? You? Yes? You? You? Yes? You? Are you going to take it up? You didn't ask me any questions, so you must have accepted everything I said. And you?
I couldn't understand because I came in the middle, so
Yeah, you've heard quite a
I
bit.
heard a little bit, but
Yeah.
whatever I heard,
You
I
like it.
do understand,
Yes.
but not all of them. It's
That's all
gonna
right.
take time.
You just keep coming. Keep
I
coming.
have to make my practice a bit better.
Keep coming, and you practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
When I first joined the temple in Amsterdam in 1971, they used to read from the Bhagavad Gita in the morning. No, Srimad Bhagavatam in the morning and the Bhagavad Gita in the night. I never understood the Srimad Bhagavatam, not for ages. I could understand the Bhagavad Gita, but after some time, purification, practicing, hearing, chanting, then I could understand the Bhagavatam. It's all practice.
Yeah, I'm here for learning that things here, but I know it's gonna take time.
Yes,
I
Of
have
course.
practiced for the bad things, not the good things and all that.
well, that's all right. We'll give you the blessings. You're already getting the blessings for it by being here today.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And, time. This takes time. You've been living in this material world for millions of years. And by chance, not by chance, by special mercy, you've come here today to take association of people of like mind. Because you have like mind, then you're coming to be with people who you feel peaceful. You feel peaceful when you come here?
Of
It's a
course,
nice
that-
place.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Krishna is here, the devotees are here, the chanting is here, the people are nice, the food is nice, the atmosphere is nice. Isn't it true? Okay, no questions. Ladies, what about you? Do you have a question? No? First time here. Well, that's very nice. I remember first time when I came to a temple, and they gave a class, and they gave a kirtan, and then they had a feast. I didn't understand any of the class and the kirtan, and I sure like that feast. Prabhupada said one who likes to eat will cook well. Guess who was just in the kitchen cooking? Me. The one who likes to eat will cook well. I've always liked eating. So we're attracted to many different things. And Krishna is all attractive. He's attractive in his beautiful song, he's attractive in his mantra, he's attractive in the way he looks, the way he interacts with us. He attracts us by his food, by his sound vibration. So many things Krishna attracts us to. So I'm very happy that you came today, and we're going to have a nice sing and dance. And what time is it now? And then in 25 minutes we have Aarti. So we can have a bit of a kirtan before Aarti. Can we do that? Yeah? And then we can have Aarti. And then we can Aarti, and we'll sing and we'll dance and we'll sing a song to Nishingadev. Does everyone know who Nishingadev is? Nishingadev's the lion incarnation of Krishna. And he's He's very much our protector. Whenever we have any fear, we always sing songs to Nishingadev. Whenever we go on a journey, we sing songs to Nishingadev for protection. When we're traveling in a car, when we're traveling on a plane. Because sometimes when you're traveling on a plane, things happen to the plane. And you're sitting there and all of them, like that. So we sing these lovely prayers for protection. And Nishingadev is a special personality. He's a lion incarnation of Krishna, and he gives us protection. So we're going to sing prayers to him, which is good for all of you, because from hearing those prayers, you'll get protection. And when you go home on your journey tonight, you will get protection. So that will be very nice. Thank you very much for coming. And I'm very happy to be here and to give a class to you, a talk to you. I'm just visiting. I actually moved a few weeks ago down to Victoria, but my daughter's having a baby, maybe today. I said it would be good if he came today. It's a he. We can call him Bhakti or something like that, you know. And so I came back for that event, and I'm going back to Victoria again soon. Very nice there. It's cold, very cold. I looked on the temperature today, 1 degrees, some places no degrees, under, but I've got 2 wood fires. But I think next year I might come on a holiday to the sunshine in June, July. But also it doesn't matter where you are, Krishna's everywhere. And just like you all here, there's also people in these cold countries that need Krishna as well. Actually, when you're cold and you're hungry and suffering in this material world, sometimes it makes you wake up. There must be more to life than this, isn't it? There must be more to life than this. I'm cold, I'm hungry, I'm suffering. And when you're really intelligent, you start asking questions. Really, what the goal of life is. There must be more to life than this. Why sometimes I'm happy and why sometimes I'm sad? Why can't I be always happy? But that's a good thing, because there's different planets, you know that. There's different planets. Some planets there's only suffering, and some planets there's only enjoying. So if you're suffering all the time, you're not thinking that there's somewhere to enjoy, because you think this is a lot in life, right? And if you're enjoying all the time, you're not thinking, oh, wow, there must be some suffering somewhere, let me find it. No. But when you're born on this earth planet where there's equal happiness and distress, then you start to question. When you're always enjoying, you're not questioning it, are you? When you're suffering all the time, because you don't know what it's like to be happy, then you don't ask questions either. But when you've got equal happiness and distress, right, then you start asking questions. And somehow or other, that's why you're here today. Because you've been asking these questions. Somewhere along the line, you've been asking these questions. So maybe your car ran into a pole, maybe you bumped your head and you've got a big boiler on your head. Maybe your child who's so naughty that you don't know what to do with them. Maybe your wife gives you trouble. Maybe the bank manager gives you trouble. It doesn't matter how much you work, you seem to never have enough money. So somehow or other, you've thought, this lifestyle that I'm leading, there must be more than this. And deep down in your heart, you've been praying to God, praying to Krishna. Please, will you show me how I can end this suffering? And because you said it sincerely, not just, oh, God, come on, I want a Rolls Royce. I want to get out of this debt. You better help me, come on. No, He's not going to help you. Because God helps them who help themselves. And so sincerely in your heart, you've been praying to God, please show me how I can get out of this situation. And therefore He's brought you all here. All of us. It happened to me. 45 years ago it happened to me. And I came in contact with the Hare Krishna devotees. Fortunately enough, Krishna gave me the intelligence to remain. Isn't it? Yeah. Fortunate. I feel fortunate that Krishna gave me the intelligence to remain. So, if you had that desire and you prayed, then you've come to the right place. Because this Hare Krishna chanting will help you to know who God is and how you can make Him your friend and how you can play with Him, you can laugh with Him, you can dance with Him, you can eat with Him. All those things you can do with God. He can become your best friend. Does that sound nice?
Yes.
Yeah. I only heard a yes from the ladies. What about the men?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I always do that, don't I? I want to wake you up. I don't like you to be in this sleeping state. I want to wake you up, make you aware of what a special, special gift that you have. All of us have by coming in contact with this Hare Krishna movement. So please take it seriously, and we'll do some chanting and dancing now. We'll start, and then after a little while, we'll get you all fired up before the arti. And then when the arti comes, you'll be so enthusiastic, you'll be dancing your legs off. Is that right? I always hear the laughing and the agreeing from the ladies. Why not you guys? Come on. I remember last time I was here, I was trying to get you all to dance. You didn't do a very good job. Let's change it tonight, huh? What do you reckon, ladies? Right? You're going to dance your legs off?
Yeah.
I don't only want to see you dancing, I want to see you jumping. Okay? The roof is pretty high. You won't hit it. Okay? Good. So let's start. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.